What's going on, everyone? So, we have been absolutely bamboozled, swindled, I tell you. Jasmin Savoy Brown teased hey, just here again, announcing that tomorrow I have an announcement. A lot of speculation that it was going to be for the upcoming Scream 7. We just saw Mason Gooding, literally like the day prior, announce Scream 7, that he would be returning. So it was like, okay, it makes sense. Jasmin Savoy Brown, get the Meeks twins back, get them back together. Beautiful. Perfect. Let's do it. Right? That's got to be the announcement. That's the thing that makes the most sense. And it did. It made a lot of sense. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. Now look, Jasmin Savoy Brown could still at any moment announce that, hey, I'm returning, I'm coming back. However, didn't get that announcement. We did get, however, Gale Weathers returning, and that Courtney Cox is back for the upcoming Scream 7. So that's great. That's exciting. But what Jasmin Savoy Brown's announcement was actually a new podcast that she's launching. So Jasmin Savoy Brown launches new podcast. Today and Gay is the name of that podcast. So that is what that big announcement was. That's what Jasmin decided to relay to us, right? Share with us, right? Which is awesome. It's great that she's, doing a podcast and she's got her thing. She's really excited about it, putting an investment into it and trying to grow this network, this podcasting that she's doing. But the Scream fan in me is kind of like, oh, right? The Scream fan in me is like, we've been bamboozled, right? Like, can't believe this. But Jasmin has this endeavor that she's going to work on. Does that potentially cause her to not maybe do Scream 7, right? Like, does she end up becoming focused on this? Does she kind of put her kind of effort, energy, and attention into this podcast for the next, year or so and kind of maybe take a little break from things, right? That's always a concern. People go into endeavors and, it sounds like, what Jasmin's trying to do is this, she wants to do kind of like this big, sort of talk show type thing, right? Or at least that's what the aesthetic looks like. Kind of like the View or the Talk, right? Maybe those both exist, but you get the point. Those shows, it's kind of what this feels like, and kind of what the aesthetic looks like. And so if that's the case, she might be a little preoccupied. She might be a little busy, handling and doing all that stuff. Which again, great for her. Glad she's, kind of doing her own endeavors. Like I always say, I encourage people all the time, like, you need to get in YouTube, media, whatever, right? Like, I think everyone should be doing it. I think everyone should have a YouTube channel. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. You never know how things are going to take off and blow up. But, from the Scream side of things, though, because, it's what this is about, it would be great if she's back, right? Like, because you have Chad, Mason Gooding, confirmed return. You don't have the Carpenter sisters. Obviously, Jenna Ortega's doing all these other movies and stuff like that, so she's kind of doing her own thing. She left for scheduling conflicts and all that stuff and to go do these other projects. Melissa Barrera left for other reasons that I'm sure you're all familiar with. And so it kind of becomes this thing where it's like, okay, well, Core 4 is gone. But you could maybe have the Meeks twins. And that could kind of be the bridge. That could kind of be the gap, right? Like, that could be the thing that kind of melts or bleeds into Scream 7, that, like, hey, you have the Meeks twins. Maybe they're helping Gale, right? Maybe there's like an attack in New York or something like that. Or maybe Sydney calls Gale and asks Gale for help. And she's like, hey, Chad, Mindy, like, where's Sam and Tara? And it's like, oh, they went on vacation, right? The sisters, they left. They, they're gone for a couple months or whatever. And it's like, oh man, like, like what you need, like, hey, Sydney's in trouble. Ghostface just showed up and attacked. And maybe the Meeks twins are like, we got to go help Sydney. She helped us, right? We got to return the favor type thing. And then boom, kind of in like one swoop, kind of solve and answer the questions about where's Sam and Tara. And then you still have the bridge characters that kind of leak from 6 into 7. And it's like, okay, cool. You got, Chad and Mindy Meeks helping Gail. They all go together to Seattle, right? To go help Sydney. And boom, you kind of have this thing. Or there's the other route where, like, what if the Meeks twins end up getting killed in the opening? What if they're the opening scene kill? Right? Like, that could be a way to really kind of, put a stamp on the end of the core 4. Right? Like, Chad and Mindy end up dying. Maybe, whatever, Sam and Tara, do they maybe kill them too? And kind of just have like body doubles or something like that to where kind of looks like they all died. And it's like, there's the end of the core 4. Say goodbye to the core 4. Do they kind of go kind of that extreme route? Or even if they don't kill, the core 4, do they, maybe kill the Meeks twins? Right? There's so much potential. There's so much opportunity. There's so many different directions in which they could go with this. But just be involved, right? Jasmin has to be there, right? If she's willing to get involved and be a part of this, which, again, she still very well could be, right? Like, while you're watching this video, we could get an announcement that she's returning, right? So, again, this isn't to say that she's not. It's just, we were kind of teased, and myself and many other Scream fans were like, oh, it's got to be Scream 7. It was just more the timing, right? If it was any other time, probably wouldn't have jumped to the conclusion, or jumped to the speculation of, hey, maybe she is returning, right? It was kind of just, again, you're getting all these casting announcements for the upcoming Scream 7. Like, literally every day we're getting a new one, sometimes multiple in a day, right? Like, we got, Chad, and then we got, who is it, Anna Camp, right? Like, boom, like, literally back to back, boom, boom. And then, out of the blue, it's like, Jasmin Savoy is like, oh, hey, by the way, I have an announcement to make tomorrow. And it's like, okay, that makes sense. Maybe something's getting finalized, or, maybe she saw that, hey, Mason and then Anna Camp, they got announced. Don't want to take their thunder away. Don't want to, kind of let that marinate for a day or so. And then, bam, here we go. I'm back, right? Like, it's kind of how that felt. It was just, again, it was the timing and which of it. If it was, 2-3 weeks from now, or a week or two earlier, or something, it might have been a very different conversation, right? We might have all been like, okay, it's clearly not what it is, clearly not what's happening here, that's not the direction they're going, but no, it was just like perfect timing. It was just like, okay, it's got to be that, right? It's got to be that she's returning. It's got to be that she's coming back. It's the only thing that really makes sense, right? Like, and then she announces the podcast, which, again, I'm rooting for her. I hope her, nothing but success, right? I always want to see people have success and, be able to achieve their goals and their dreams and their visions, which Jasmin clearly has a goal, dream, and vision with this podcast. And, if it's great, great. If it's not, hopefully it gets great, right? Like, but I would like to see her in the upcoming film, right? I would like to see her kind of play a role and be a part of this. We saw her in the last 2 films, and like I said, now you got one of the Meeks twins back. Be nice to kind of get the duo, kind of get the band back together a little bit, or at least half the band, right? Like, so, to add them to Sydney and Gail, and now that we have Gail's confirmation, and that Courtney Cox is officially back and Courtney Cox is officially returned, that is great. That's something that, is very exciting. And it's like, okay, cool. Getting all these cast announcements, and it's like, all right, cool. So Jasmin Savoy, she's going to make the announcement. We're going to get her back. This is going to be a great film. Let's go. And then, unfortunately, didn't work out that way. At least, again, for now. I want to be very clear on that, right? Like, just because she didn't announce it now doesn't mean that won't happen at some point. Doesn't mean that, like I said, while you're watching this video, tomorrow, a week from now, whatever, could very well be like, hey, she's in it, she's back, she's going to do that. and we got the Meeks twins back together, right? We'll see. Time will tell how that all kind of plays out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Hey, Phil, what are your thoughts? Do you feel bamboozled? Do you feel lied to, betrayed? But no, in all seriousness, like, what is your opinion on this? What do you think of podcast endeavors? You a little disappointed? Again, I'm a little disappointed, right? Like, again, I'm excited for her. I'm happy that she's, got this new project that she's gonna work on. However, the Scream fan of me is like, oh man, like, thought you were gonna be in it. We just got the news from Mason, so it was just would have lined up perfectly and made so much sense. So do you kind of feel that way about it? Do you think like, no, hey, I know a lot of people, nothing against Jasmine, right? But a lot of people don't like Mindy, the character. Like, people love Jasmine, especially because, Yellow Jackets, whatever, or not Mindy, but Jasmine, right? Like, people love her. It's just the Mindy character people can't stand. So I know a lot of people, every time I talk about Mindy, people are like, kill her, get rid of her, sell her off, whatever, right? Like, or it's just, yeah. we'll see how it all plays out. But anyway, again, I feel whatever your thoughts are. I love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.